about you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you.
Yes, definitely will not see Diogo Jota anymore, and of course his brother Andres Silva. But then let me sample the opinions of the guys in the studio. I know they've got a lot to discuss concerning this one. Let me start with Sport Princess. Sport Princess, good afternoon to you.
Listener out there. Just like you said, a very, very sad one, a tough one to swallow, honestly. And you know, I think we saw on the group chat as well that Diogo Jota is one of those players that you can't just hate because it's just quality. Fox in the box. Somebody you love to see that always comes through for his teammates. It's a really sad one, honestly, a really, really tough one. Just like you said, just not just in the football world, in the sporting scene as well. I mean, nobody expected that. He himself didn't see that coming, and I think we should just take a lesson for all of us also listening at home to just live our life to the fullest as well, because life is too short. Life is too short. Just a couple of months ago, he won the English Premier League, and then he proceeded to win the UEFA Nations League with Portugal as well. And he just got married 2 weeks ago as well, and he has 3 kids. So I'm very sure he had a whole lot of plans, a whole lot of things to achieve, a list of things he would like to go, or places he would like. I think just like I said earlier, it's a lesson for all of us to appreciate more, to appreciate life more, to be grateful for each day and every breath we take as well. I mean, I think I don't even know what to say. I'm actually feeling really emotional right now because.
All right, Fermi, good afternoon to you. I know you have a lot to say concerning the passing of Diogo Jota. It was a huge shock for, I saw the story this morning and I was like, well, I'm not sure about the story. I think I'll have to wait until it is confirmed. Then, I went straight to the page of Fabrizio Romano. I saw the confirmation of, his passing, but I couldn't believe. But what do you make of this, sad story from not about being, a fan of one club, or I do not support Liverpool or Manchester United. What do you make of this?
One for him. So yes, he's more than just a footballer. He has also delved into the world of gaming and all that, and he's a very interesting individual. And it's very sad for him and his brother to go at the same time. His parents both child at the same period, also his wife and everything. But that's how life is. You might be alive today and dead tomorrow. You might be working today and tomorrow you are no longer there. This is it just shows how fickle life is.
Also, join us live in the studio this afternoon. Afternoon to you, Sport Umpire. I know you've seen a lot on social media the story about the passing of Portuguese international, of course, Liverpool, Diogo Jota. Well, a lot of people have been talking about.
No matter what side of the divide you're on, you just cannot hit this guy.
Absolutely.
He's just one of the few footballers that you definitely get to love. Maybe you support Liverpool or not. Fantastic guy, both on and off the pitch. And just like Fermi said, one of the fantastic gaming guys out there. In fact, I think he's even the best in the English Premier League right now when it comes to that particular one. But unfortunately, it is now a case of past tense. It was. Fantastic player. It was that, just like he said himself and his brother. I just I cannot imagine the type of sadness that his family would be in right now. How would the parents lose 2 children on the same day?
The same day.
The same day. The only kids that they have got is just so sad. And just like you said, they've been doing things together. They played football together before Diogo Jota. A reminder for us to keep living a good life. Just enjoy life where you are here, because tomorrow you never can tell. We just might be no more. Our condolences tomorrow. You never can tell. We just might be no more. Our condolences definitely goes to the families. This definitely goes to the families of Diogo Jota and his brother this afternoon.
All right, well said from Pelumia Dioshin. Well, we just have to, keep praying for the family of Diogo Jota. Of course, he left the wife just a few weeks ago. They got married and 3 kids. She was also a one-time Ballon d'Or winner. Yes, one of the most important players for that team. Got them the first goal. That gave them all 3 points. Also, we're talking about wrestling, and the Nigerian Wrestling Federation has confirmed participation in this year's Spanish Wrestling Grand Prix, stated for 4th to 7th of July this month. Promise Okotoko, media assistant of the NWFL WF, discussed that Paris 2024 Olympic participant, talking about Esther Kolawole, who represent the...
has gathered a lot of attention due to what these athletes have attained. I'm not expecting anything short of victory again. Like I said some years back, or some months back during the last Olympic, I think we should start focusing on some sports that we know that we are kind of
strength.
Yes, medals there. I talk about wrestling, talk about weightlifting. These are sports that give us medals. Even look at the para games right there at the Olympics.
The para athletes.
These are the sports that we always know that we're going to get medals. It shows how good and how dominant we are right there. And in Africa, no doubt about that, we are one of the powerhouses when it comes to that. So I'm not expecting anything short of a wonderful performance in Spain in this particular tournament as well.
All right, well, let's move on quickly. So, and interestingly, we're talking about, legend of the game. Well, some people will disagree, but then we're talking about boxing in Nigeria. Bashali is definitely one of the legend of the game. And according to report this afternoon, the Federal High Court in Abuja struck out a 500 billion lawsuit filed by the former world cruiserweight boxing champion Bashali against the former Minister of Youth and Sports Development at some point. Sunday Dare citing the claim as frivolous and lacking merit. Well, I remember the story as at that time. A certain Sunday Dare started him over 30 million naira.
Things like this. So now that the court has actually dismissed the 500 billion suit against the former minister, I think now is the time for everyone to move on. Let peace just reign in Nigerian sports. This is not the time for us to be dragging each other in court. This is not the time for us to be holding interviews and podcasts talking about what happened 10, 20 years ago. In fact, I think we should have moved past all of this. We should be looking at the way forward rather than bringing up things that have happened in the past.
All right. Talking about looking forward, one of them is, qualifying for the Club World Cup. And I think that should be, the major concern right now, because we are not sure if we'll be playing at the World Cup.
You see with the where he's moving at this particular moment, but I feel this bout is just happening because of money. It does because there's no reason for you to be coming out of retirement to fight a fight that you're probably going to lose. So he's just coming there to okay, let us just bring up something high, let's say high caliber or high something, and also make my money at the same time. So that's the only reason this bout is happening, because there's no way that you say expect a certain Tyson Fury to actually go up against Alexander Usyk the way he is. I just feel it's just for the money. This particular bout is just for the money. Okay,
well, let's go further into the details of that particular one. Yes, the trilogy bout may depend on the outcome of Usyk's meeting with Daniel Dubois next month, and Usyk will become a two-time undisputed heavyweight champion should he defeat the Briton at the Wembley Stadium on Saturday, 19th of July. So we're looking forward to a major bout in this month between Alexander Usyk and, of course, Daniel Dubois. Of course, I remember that particular bout where Daniel Dubois did really well. Well, we'll get to see what the young man can actually bring to the table once again. right, in case you're just joining us, you're listening to iSport on I-FLIER 103.3 FM. You can be part of the conversation. Let's get your thoughts concerning some of the things we've discussed so far. And of course, feel free to talk about your experience. What do you remember? What are those things that you still think about concerning the late Diego Jota? You're a Liverpool fan, be a Manchester United fan. You can talk to us concerning the late Diego Jota. I would love to. I saw the first half of the game and I was really impressed. The experience of the Norwegian side, talking about the Norway national team that counted, and of course they picked to overcome. Ugochukwu, how are you doing this afternoon?
I'm fine.
All right, talk to us.
I want to talk about the sad story of Diego Jota.
Go on, you have the floor.
May he rest in peace, because it was a devastating statement.
Right, thank you very much, Ugochukwu. Of Diego Jota, it is a sad moment for them, really sad, honestly. It's very, very sad. But then let's move on. Sport Princess, let's talk about Euros 2024. I want to believe 2025 rather. I want to believe you are following all of the games so far. We saw 2 games yesterday, and Norway
they scored the first goal by Agabed in the 54th minute. I think that is more of what we want to see from the Barcelona Femini player. I think they have a whole lot of quality, but they just can't kind of get that synergy and just play together. And I think the manager and everything is actually trying to get everything together to work for them. I think they're one of those teams to actually look out for in this competition. And of course, the second goal was an own goal, but I think you cannot take that can't take anything away from what they achieved yesterday. So also, although Switzerland, as a host country, they actually tried their best. They had more shots on target, they had more possession and everything, but I think it was just not good enough. And just like you said, I think the experience of the Norwegian side actually played
won yesterday. Well, French Femini, and of course she's won the Ballon d'Or before, so a lot of experience for between Belgium against Italy. Looking at Italy,
this game is a game that any of the team would be really happy to get 3 points. Like, they want to go all out for 3 points, considering the remaining 2 teams in their group, that is Spain and Portugal. So they would want to do everything it takes to actually pick 3 points and stand a chance to probably go into the next round. I think Italy women team, they are still more of a footballing nation than Belgium, with due respect to the Belgium women national team. So, but I'm not expecting a whole lot from them in the game this evening. I still see the Italians getting away with this one.
All right, the Italian getting away from this one. Well, one name to actually watch out for Girelli. Yes, the captain of the team also. I think she plays for Juventus. Yes, she plays for Anna Bonmati. But then watch out for Putellas. Yes, she's won the Ballon d'Or twice in her career, and of course one of the players to actually watch out for going forward into that one. Well, let's talk about the Club World Cup. Of course, the quarter-final is slated for tomorrow, but then I want to talk about this particular story coming from the camp of Palmares. They are brimming with confidence right now, and they are saying they've got is giving them that confidence, and you would definitely have to talk about this one. Sport Umpire, let me talk to you on this one. Palmares, they are really confident. They are saying we want to go into that game and get the job done. Do these guys have the quality? Do they have the tenacity to go or not be convincing, but then just win what is in front of you and move straight to the semi-final?
Yeah, I think they want to fancy their chances, but then in the grand scheme of things, I don't think they stand a chance against Chelsea. Honestly, I've seen them play in this competition and they have not really been convincing at all. Yes, you can say they are in the quarterfinals of the competition, but look at how they got there. They were in a group that had certain Inter Miami, FC Porto, Al Ahly of Egypt. You would expect them to get out of that group, and they got out of that group. In the round of 16, they defeated Botafogo by a goal to nil, and that goal came in the extra time. So it was a game that could have even gone either ways. But then I think they are still very lucky to be at this point in time. But when I'm looking at the quality in the two teams, I think this is where their brightest player is a certain Estevao, who can also be taken out of the game. And look at that Chelsea team that have got a lot of quality.
Kind of footballer Xavi Alonso want to play with this Real Madrid team?
Yeah, of course. I think it's going to be a big miss, honestly. But at the same time, you have to look at the health of the player as well. I think it's, he's been putting it off for a while now. And I think it's just time for him to just get it over with and just go back to full fitness as well, because getting a lot of injections to keep playing games. At the end of the day, I like the fact that when players are committed to a particular team and they don't want to skip games, but at the same time, is it the same club that if something bad happens to your career, you're going to get replaced anyway? So I think he has to prioritize himself right now. He's going to affect the Real Madrid side, but I think they've got enough quality and as well. I think Adegula just coming up as well has shown that he's got enough quality as well. They have a whole lot of midfield options, honestly, but at the same time nobody can kind of replace the quality of Jude Bellingham right now. But I think they still have the likes of Xabi Alonso has enough tactical knowledge to kind of tweak a little things here and there to make it work for Real Madrid.
Okay, well, Fermi, still talking about Real Madrid, do you think they've got what it takes to actually, sort out the conundrum? Because for me, if Jude Bellingham is not in that midfield, of course, Adagula is there, Federico Valverde is there, and Dani Ceballos also could come in and, of course, help them, but it will definitely not bring that quality into that midfield.
Yeah, for sure. If Jude Bellingham is not going to be in the Real Madrid side for a prolonged period, I feel it's going to be a huge loss to them. Because minus the controlling of the midfield and doing all that, he also adds goals to the team, and that's a very, very important part of football. So yes, there's no way that he's clearly not going to be missed. I feel the other players for sure they will pull their weight and everything, but it will not just give you that Bellingham what he has given over the past 2 seasons for the Real Madrid side, what he has consistently given. I doubt there's any midfielder at Real Madrid right now that you could say could cover fully for him. You could cover for a part, maybe in the build-up and all that. But especially in the goal and getting it to the box, those dead man runs to the box, I doubt there's any Real Madrid midfielder who can give Real Madrid that. So I feel it's going to be a huge, huge loss. And genuinely, I don't know why he has pushed. I thought he had already done this surgery earlier in the season. Yeah. But I think there was a period of time that it was one international break that he didn't go for the international break and he did the surgery. So I don't know why he has kept on pushing it on for this long. But now, hopefully, when he does the surgery, he gets back to full fitness. Not for a very long time, not out for a very, very long time. He gets back and also shows what he's worth.
All right, showing what is worth for Real Madrid is it's a million release clause, and the players a couple of times also. But this particular story, once again, is reiterating that if you are not ready to pay the asking price, you'll definitely not be getting quality. Should Arsenal be going all out for Eberechi Eze, or they should just look elsewhere?
I think they should be going all out, honestly. They are considered a big team, and with what we have seen in the market, if clubs want to sell, especially selling clubs, if you want to sell to a big club, they tend to put out high asking price out there. But if you want to sell to a relatively low club, then you see ridiculous amounts and all of that, because you know that you've got this money, spend it. Because if you don't spend it, there's another big club waiting somewhere else to hijack the deal and spend it. So it's more like a win-win situation for them. But for you that know that you know the quality of this player, you know what it's going to bring to the team, then you should be getting it. Although I'm strongly against clubs overpaying for players, because in the end it tends to put pressure on most of the these players. Not all players can actually handle that pressure of coming for a record fee, coming for a high transfer fee and all of that, and in the end it is not their fault.